Okay, there we go. Let me make sure the volume isn't too aggressive. I swear, there's like a threshold when it comes to any kind of speaker audio where it's like sometimes it'll work just fine, and then other times it's just garbo and it doesn't work at all. Okay, let me respond to a text real quick, and then we will get started shortly. I'm still waiting for Substance to finish opening my file, and it's taking, frankly, it's sweet time this time around to open it. Let me see if I can clean out the loadout. Maybe that'll make it faster. Aha, that's why. It was trying to load too many layers at once. There we go. There we go. Had to answer a message from my mom. Mom takes priority. I didn't manage to watch all of Unis Honest when it first came out, but I got into it like, I want to say like 3 or so months in and started watching it then. Loved the energy that it emitted and just the whole idea behind it. I thought it was very unique and it was very emotional being there when the counter hit 0. I was there in that final stream, and watching it was extremely emotional, and it's wild to think that seeing that channel reach the end of its life was so impactful. Oh, there we go. Substance, you live! Jeez, took its sweet time. My pronouns are she, her. Easy peasy. Also, let me grab my water bottle because I put it further away than I thought. I'm gonna lose tracking for a second. Don't mind the PC sound if you hear it. There we go. My my technology decided that it was going to be very noisy. There we go. Okay. Let me adjust my feets for sitting. Okay, and now we're good to go. Okay. First, let me organize my layout here. And then I'm going to turn off some of these base layers so that way I can clean up everything and not make it as aggressive to look at. Because right now there's just a lot of layers and things and I don't need them all visible. Plus, trying to do any kind of fur brush work when you have this loaded is very difficult. I am going to load the specular for the eyes real quick, though. Point 0.2 on that, and then I can hide it. Suit 1 and suit 2. And then turn all those off. There we go. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Now we're ready to get started. Actually, let me set up a save backup first before I do anything else. Considering, I've done this multiple times where I'll start working on something and then Substance just dies and it kills everything that I'm working on, so... If I'm blurry, it's because the stream is still buffering. Just give it a minute. Yeah, or that. It may also be your quality settings, because I'm set to as HD as I can get without terminating my connection. Okie dokie. Let's start with my fur brush. So, before I begin, uh, Slushy, I was in your stream watching you struggle with the fur brush and how to utilize it, so I'm gonna show you the far easier way to make it work, but you really want to try to put this on before you start painting avatars, because the more detail and the more paint layers that you have, the more likely Substance is to totally crash when you try to put fur brush on. Plus, it's really hard to make it functional when you have to go through each and every layer and apply it individually. So, when you first have your avatar spawn into Substance here, I recommend doing what I did and turning off all the layers so that you're just looking at, like, the bare bones minimum here. Usually in your materials, you want to look for the fur brush, and I personally prefer using the standard one instead of the smart material one that you imported, which is why it turned yellow at first. So you literally just grab it and drop it onto the avatar. It'll take a second for GPU to calculate it, and once it spawns in, it'll look kind of like this at first. Obviously, there's directional issues because of all the UV seams, but that's something that I can pretty easily fix. You just have to come down to the layer tweaking on the right-hand side. So first, I'll go to tiling, and I want to turn my tiling down because I want this to be much more short and subtle fur, so I'm going to turn it way down. And this one, I'm also going to kind of mess with the rotation on because it wasn't totally flat. Once you get down to all of the attribute tweaking, that's when it gets really crazy. Like, down here, if you mess with too many of these at the same time, it'll kind of freak out. So I'm going to turn down the width and then wait till it loads. And then turn the length way down because I want it really short. And I also want it a little less curvy, so I'm going to turn that down as well. And this is what you'll end up with for your normal map. You can see that the textures are... Oh, thank you very much for the follow. You can see that the texture is much more clean now, and it also flows much more naturally. So with that done, the next thing that I have to do is come in and paint all these UV seams so that they don't have these really hard edges. Which is where I'm going to come up here and make a folder to organize all my normals into. Put this guy in here first. And let's see which direction all this fur faces. If I'm lucky, I won't have to do everything. Looks like I can do the body, the arms. I think I'm going to do the head on its own layer. I can do the legs. Yeah, and the tails go in the wrong direction. Okay, so body, arm, and leg. So let me label that. Body, arm, leg. And then let me adjust the sound on my end a little bit here, because it's being a little loud on my end, so I'm going to turn it down. There we go. The first song was, like, really calm, and the second one was just so loud. Okay. So, yeah. Once you reach this point, you're going to want to adjust all the different spots that the fur is going to make it look more natural. So, for me, once I have it laid out and I can see which directions it's going, I'm going to put a black mask on it, make sure my symmetry is turned on, and then using my soft airbrush, I'm going to come in and just manually brush my fur where I want it to go. This way I can control the opacity of it, so that on the areas where I want it to be really intense, like the center of the chest, I can put more strength, which will make it look much more natural, versus areas like the belly and the inner thighs where I don't want the fur to be as strong, so I can do it a little bit more subtly. And hopefully to anybody watching the stream, this makes sense as well. I was watching my friend Slushy's Twitch stream not too long ago, and She was really struggling to make the fur brush work, so I wanted to just take a minute to explain to her how I use it, in hopes that it will help her in the future. And there we go. Make sure I get in between the legs. I mean, I've done YouTube since, like, 2000... I want to say, like, 2013 or so, but I wasn't super active until about 2018. Alright, and now that I have to change my layer direction, I'm going to duplicate my size for the normal layer so that it's the same width and everything. And then I'm just going to mess with my rotation. So this will be the right side of the face. Oh! Thank you for the donation. Wow, those were very loud. I need to figure out how to adjust those. Congratulations, you're my very first super chatter. I am using Adobe Substance Painter, but yes, if you're ever curious what programs I'm using, they're always listed in the description of the video. Okay, so this will be the right side of the face and the tail. And I think that's the only thing that's going the right direction that I need. Yeah, I can do the hand too. Okay, so we'll do the right side of the face, the hand, and the tail. Face, hand, and tail. And then turn off symmetry so that I can make sure I only paint the parts I need. This will be Unity eventually, but for the time being it's still just Substance Painter because I still have to do all the texture work. And this particular avatar is going to be really interesting and fun to do because this one, the character that I'm doing is obviously inspired by Unus Annus, and the character is actually 2 in 1. It's the characters Memento and Mori, and the commissioner wants me to make a material toggle so that they can swap between the 2 skins on the same avatar, which I think is really, really cool, and I've never done anything like that. Oh my goodness gracious! Thank you for that donation! Holy smokes! Thank you so much! I think I'm gonna pass out. Oh my goodness! Thank you! That donation is literally going to help me pay for my nephew's Christmas present, so thank you so much. Wow. I'm all like, Oh, jeepers. Thank you. I'm trying not to cry, but thankfully my VTuber doesn't track that. And now I've been joined by Cheeto. He sensed that something was amidst, and he was like, I'm here to comfort you, don't worry. It's okay, Cheeto, it's not a bad cry, it's a happy cry. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna keep my composure, I promise. Okay, let me label this for the left side of the face so I don't mess up my masks. There we go. Oh, that's sweet of you. I will always appreciate everything, whether it's, you know, a penny, $1, $10, whatever it may be. Any kind of donation is so incredibly thankful, and just, I'm so grateful for everything. I retired from being a personal caregiver in September, so my future is currently entirely funded by YouTube and making suits and art. So any additional help that I get along the way is so incredibly supportive, and I'm so thankful for it. So thank you, and hopefully others can pay it forward and show that kindness to other people, because you never know what somebody may be going through in the background. Always try to just be kind to everyone. There's still a shiny bit on the nose I missed. There we go. Nefertiti is actually not a fursona for me. She is a character, particularly known as a moniker, which is something that allows me to define myself online, and it acts as like a mascot, but I do not believe I am the character, nor does she have a connection to me as if she was an extension of myself. I've talked about this in previous streams, and I'm not going to go too in-depth on it because I want to make a full video at some point to explain it better. But monikers are different than fursonas or personas or any kind of Sona-esque character. I'm going to have to do the ears on their own layer because the thing is facing the wrong direction. That's fine. I greatly look forward to the ability to do that for you. I love making suits. It makes me happy to breathe that magic and just color into the world. And I want to make more, but obviously I still have to get caught up with my current queue because I'm a wee bit behind schedule. Okay, let me see if I can get lucky here and only have to do one material layer for the ears, but I don't think I'm gonna get that lucky. I think I'm gonna have to do it independently. Yep, I am. That's fine. So just call this right ear. And then make sure I turn off symmetry so it doesn't freak out. By the way, this smart material that I am using for this is available on Gumroad for $10, and it's awesome. Aw, thank you, Snow. I appreciate your donation. This character does have a ref sheet. I don't know if I can show it on stream because of, like, layouts and tabs and stuff. But as I start painting it, you'll kind of start to see how it looks. So hopefully that'll give you more information on what it looks like. Well, that's a-okay. Thank you for being here as long as you were. I'll always appreciate it. I hope you have a good one. Alright, let me put the fur brush on the other ear. I need to make a full tutorial for Substance and just how to use smart brushes and smart materials at some point. Hoping to do so once I knock out this last deadline commission that I have, but I'm waiting for materials to arrive in the mail that are taking their sweet time getting here. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, good luck there. Learning Blender is a big challenge, but it's definitely worth it in the end if you can figure it out. Alright, we're gonna call this the base layer. I want to make sure my roughness is set to 1. And then I'm going to grab the ref sheets real quick. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. I haven't made any fursuit head tutorials yet, but I'm currently planning 3 of them. I'm going to do one for foam head bases, one for resin head bases, and then one for 3D printed head bases, because I want to be able to give each one their own individual showcase so that others can look at them and hopefully learn from them. As someone who grew up watching Pokemon and playing the very first games when they came out, I think it's amazing to see that Ash's journey has finally come to an end, and I can't wait to see what the new character is going to bring for us. And don't worry about not being able to donate. Like, even just being here in the stream is helping to support me. Every little bit counts. It's not always about financial. It's just being there and being able to show the algorithm my work, to show more people my work. Oop, that's the wrong folder. I need this one and... Where's the reference folder? There it is. Okay, I'm going to see if I can do this. I don't necessarily have anywhere to put them on my stream screen, but... I think I could fit it on screen if I move it over there. Here, let me see if I can do this for y'all. Add new source, image, add source. I will find it, fear not. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start with Memento first. They're big, but don't worry, I'm going to resize. Here, we'll put them right here. How's that? That way they're not taking up too much of the screen, hopefully. But it allows you all to at least see the character that I'm currently working on. Okay, and now with that sitting there, I am going to make my screen go funky for a second, just so that I can make sure I grab the exact color swatches, which, granted, I'm pretty sure that they're very straightforward, so I don't think it's going to be an issue, but I want to grab them anyway. And yeah, they're very straightforward. Okay, so it was literally just the two. That's it, okay. The chat covers what up? What did I miss? I missed it, but whatever it is, we'll figure it out. The species I'm currently working on is the Nardoragon, which is what the client particularly requested for this commission. Okay, now I have to do the fun bit. So let me just double check a thing real quickly. They're very similar to each other, but they are ever so slightly different. Also, it looks like the other one, Mori, has a more female build, whereas Memento has a more male build. So that's interesting. I'll have to adjust that in my anim files. I am using Substance Painter. I'm just double checking the ref sheet to make sure that I'm seeing everything correct, which I think I've got it. Okay, let's start by adding the black layer, which is this one. Okay, now let me see. It looks like the left and right sides are symmetrical. I can't see anything that's asymmetrical except for the hip spiral. That's the only thing that's different. Okay, that should work pretty good then. So let's start. We've got the whole entire neck is black, and then it goes down the belly and the back. I haven't even worked on a Protogen model yet, which is funny. You'd think I would have got something. These kind of commissions really vary price-wise. It's gonna be different depending on the character complexity, what model I'm working on, if there's added assets or animations, things like that. But to put it into perspective, something like this is usually around 120. Does it go all the way up to the ear? It does, right up to the underside of the ear. Okay. Thank you. I have been trying to make a lot of videos, and as well as like trying to stream more often, because that's helping me pay my bills right now, which is great. Okay, and I have to kind of take some artistic liberty on the ears here, because this character technically doesn't have ears. So I think what I'm gonna do is go all the way up the back like this. And then flip them over so I can see it. And then clean up the edge, which is bleeding over a little bit. There we go. Ooh, I love artistic liberty work. Honestly, it would depend strongly on the model, because some models are more expensive than others. But I would say a rough average would probably be around the 120 to 130 range. But usually artistic liberty stuff is also pay what you want, with the base being 100. So if you paid $100 for an artistic liberty, you would get $100 worth of work in exchange. Whereas if you paid more or less than that, it's going to affect the end product of just how bougie the end result will be. So that way you can kind of dictate how much detail you want put into it. Usually any kind of artistic liberty commission that goes under 100, you won't really get the fancy textured normals on it that makes it look furry or scaly or anything like that, just because they take so long to set up and do. But I like to work with other people's budgets, you know, so I do what I can. Oh, okay, full artistic liberty, picking everything. Yeah, then, like I said, it would definitely be a case of, like, pay what you want, and I'll figure it out from there. Okay, and this kind of looks like it comes in around the shoulders like this. And then it comes back down. Does it go over the top of the tail? It does. Okay. Then it would come down like this. And around the bum. Because I think it goes through the legs. It does. Okay. At least the tail's nice and easy. Matter of fact, to save myself time, I'm just going to UV fill the tail. Whoops. And then clean up the edge. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Hold on a second. Let me get around the chest here. Oh yeah, I could easily do that. Thank you. Though I can't take credit for my VTuber. She was sculpted by Dracius, and I was the one who did the painting of her. But Dracius did all the difficult work, which is the sculpting portion. I'm still learning how to fully custom sculpt avatars. that's a that's a demon that I'm not ready to tackle in its entirety yet. I am working on one though. A friend of mine who goes by Grim or Bloodied Tar has been teaching me how to sculpt in Blender from scratch, and through multiple collaborations, we're working on making a model for our original species, which are called Zarians, and they are totally open to the public, so anybody and everybody is more than welcome to make one if they want one. There's more information on their Discord, as well as their TikTok, and I think they have some on the Instagram, but I'm not sure. I'd have to double check that. But they're like really cool skeleton robot dinosaur alien things. No, you. It's wonderful. Okay, let me see here. This goes all the way down. And it does follow the curvature of the body, so just go all the way down. Easy peasy. And then I gotta find where the edge of that is. Oh, it's over there. Okay. Once I connect the edges, then I can clean up the transitions a little bit. It's so difficult to paint in between areas like this. Like, I wish there was easier ways to pose models when you're already in Substance, but I know it's not possible, so I'll just kind of work with what I got, you know? It's nice. I'm doing pretty swell so far. So to answer that question as directly as I can, you can check out my website, which is linked down in the description. When it comes to price, you're gonna have to figure out what's within your budget, as well as if the model is Quest compatible, because I'm learning how to Questify stuff, but not every model is Quest compatible without serious sacrifices to its quality. So definitely look around and see if the model is listed anywhere as being Quest compatible, because if not, I have to figure it out on the spot, which will result in it being more expensive. Because that requires me to have to go into Blender and remove bones and decimate polygons and stuff, which is very time consuming. Okay, I think that matches pretty close. And how far down the snoot does that go? Right to the lip. So it creates like a little, like a dino beak point. Like this. I see you trying to autosave Substance. That's okay, Snow. I know you're in here just chilling. General commissions are closed, but VR commissions are always open because I kind of work on them in between projects when I've got either materials that I'm awaiting for delivery on, or if my hands start having pain from sewing. So these give me like a good break to work on in between regular commissions. There is quite a bit of a line, though, which is why I want to focus on trying to get more of these done. Okay, I need to look at this more closely. It looks like it goes all the way up to the eye. So I need to change this a little bit, or it's not going to have the right blend. And this goes up to the peeper. Like that. And then this technically goes all the way under the face and to the cheek. So that's like this kind of a shape. And I do know that that comes out of the corner of the eye, right? Yeah, it does. So I can see if I can carefully connect that to the ear. Very lovely. It's also nice that these colors are so dark and drastically different from one another because it allows me to make sure I fill in everything perfectly the way it should be. I have less likely of a chance to miss any of my polygons in here. Okay, and then I'm gonna have to grab this and UV fill these spots. So I want to make sure they go all the way to the edge. Very nice. Oop, missed one. A frog? I don't think I've done a frog before. The program I'm currently using technically has a one-time purchase version, which you can get on Steam for, I think, like $30 or so. Or you can pay $20 a month to use it via the Adobe Cloud services, which also gives you access to the entire Adobe Asset Marketplace, which has tons of smart materials, layer masks, alphas, emissions, like all kinds of cool stuff that you would otherwise have to go elsewhere and spend more money on. And I also get auto updates as well as access to other Adobe programs such as 3D Substance, oh my god, what is it called? It's like a thing that allows me to make my own smart materials from scratch, which is really nice. There's a lot of really cool things that come with spending the monthly fee on it, with the downside obviously being that it's a monthly fee. But that's Adobe, so what you gonna do? Adobe sure does like to make you pay for everything. As someone who used Photoshop for years before I lost the ability to utilize it, and then switched to Fire Alpaca, which I just like more, so it feels like a win-win almost. Okay, give me this. Alrighty. Actually, I think I'm gonna wait to do that bit until later. I was gonna write the numbers on the face. Let's make a thing and just call it numbers. I'm gonna make the roughness 1, but I also want it to glow, so I'm gonna make sure I turn on the emissive layer so that I can see it. And now I have to try and use my brain because it's 36000. How many zeros was it? It was 3600000. Like, were there 2 sets of zeros? Or was it just 360 and then 00? I can't remember. I was gonna try to do it analog, but whoop, too many. I don't think the analog looks right. It looks a little flumpy. thus far, Adobe has been decent, but it's got its own set of issues. Like, it's definitely far from being a perfect program to use. I'm trying not to get this on the eyebrow because I know it's going to interfere with facial animations if it touches it. And then it'll get all weirdly skewed, and I don't want it to get skewed. You be it. I swear, drawing a circle is like the bane of every artist. Oh my god, please. Please. Close enough. Oh shoot, you're right. It was 365. You're right, you're right, you're right. There's 365 days in a year. That's right. Dingus brain. Thank you very much. Appreciate that one. Okay. Do. Yeah, when I'm squinting, you can tell that I'm focusing. Let me double check the countdown clock because I want to make sure. 365, and then it was 3 sets of zeros. Okay, so if it's 3 sets of zeros, I'm definitely gonna have to redo how I do this. Because that was not gonna work. Alright, so let me divide the face first, and then I'll kind of put it in there based on that. I'm gonna push this up. I'm gonna, like, get smaller, I think, when it goes to the edges. Okay, and then we'll do 3. Oh, how is this gonna work? Because of the way that they've drawn it on the character, like, it doesn't fit on their riff sheet face, so... How am I gonna make this work? I'm trying so hard. This is a commission. The problem is, in order to keep, like, the ratio of it being even, I don't know if I can. Because, like, see, if it was just 2, it wouldn't be a problem. But because there's 3 letters in the first part, that's what's throwing me off. Where's the fluff? Let me see. Yeah, I can't put it any higher. It'll get cut off if I put it higher. I think that might be as close as I'm gonna be able to get it. I'll try to make the numbers a little smaller. Maybe that'll help. I say a little smaller and then I make the fattest 3 you ever did see. think that's as close as I'm gonna be able to get it. Like, it's just not gonna wrap around the head correctly. Because it's uneven. If it was just 2, it'd be fine, but the fact that there's 3, that's what's throwing off the ratio. I mean, if you had a picture of the head from, like, directly front on, maybe that would help, but it's still the issue of, like, 3, 2, 2, 2. So no matter how I squish it, it's not quite gonna have the right ratio. Yeah, send it to me on email and I can check that easier because that'll allow me to zoom in and not look at a compressed image. Because Instagram is awful at compressing images. I'll keep that open in the meantime. Let me see. Nova, I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation multiple times in and out of email and in comment sections. If you're interested in something like that, you need to look at commissioning it because that's so far out of the norm. That's not something that I'm just going to spend hours upon days upon months working on for free. On the back of the coats, maybe? I do have one more idea that might work. Let me try this. I've got an idea. Let's see if I can make this work. U file open 365 00 00 00. Let's make that bad boy white. And then drag it over here. Select. Crop. U. Grab that, and then file, save as. This is such a roundabout way of doing this, but maybe it'll work. Save as translucent PNG. And now we come over here, import resource, U, texture, import, go. Then we drag and we drop. Put it as, actually, let me put that as an emissive. Emissive. Okay, first I need to move my anchor point because clearly it's not where it's supposed to be. I have an idea and we're gonna see if it works. And then give me my anchoring right there. And then edit my anchor vertices. And now we're going to try to do some magic. Because if this don't work, then that's all we got, folks. I mean, it worked. It's on there. You can see what I mean by it, like, being slightly off-centered, though, but it's on there. The only bad part about it is that there's kind of these weird edge bits that I have to contend with. But I think now that it's here, at least, I can kind of fiddle fart and do a thing and kind of use it as, like, a template to reference. So if I do this, make it emissive, make sure my height and roughness are 1. You can see how it has those little, like, pixel bleeds on the edges. I don't want those. Plus, it's, like, really pixelated, so... let me make this a different color. Until I can see where it is. I'm essentially tracing the text that I put on it, so that way it'll go exactly where it's supposed to. Big brain hours. Doesn't it? Let me look at the ref again. Oh yeah, you're right. You only do have 2 sets of the zeros. Do you want me to just do the 2, or do you want me to do what I have here with the 3 sets? Because this'll work. It reads as what it's supposed to. It's mostly symmetrical. I'll leave the decision to you, since you're the commissioner, so ultimately your say is what goes. I am indeed using a computer. Okay, I can put them on the code. That's no problem whatsoever. Alright, we'll go ahead and just knock those out then. And then we'll go back to working on this bit. It's okay, don't worry. I'm glad you're here to be able to give your feedback whilst I'm working on it. Because otherwise I would be confused. Also, do you want me to fill the inside of the ears black or leave them white like I have them? Heidi-ho! Nice to see ya. Well, Fallen Stars, not really your say-so. It's writers say-so. It's their commission. Appreciate the input, though. Okay, let's see. I think I'll do the little cutout bit next. Well, that's going to be interesting to translate because it's technically on the lip portion. I'm trying to think how to best approach it. Because the Nardo doesn't have nearly as long of a snoot. There we go. Yep, I can do that. Or I can use like a slightly off black, so that way it's not like the same marking and it doesn't feel like it floods it. Thank you. I greatly appreciate you reading my TOS before sending the inquiry. That speeds up the process a lot and also makes it easier for me to read through the emails and see the more genuine ones. Oh, I'm gonna have to fill that. Excuse me, I said fill that. Thank you. I'll fill in the mouth later. Oh man, you know what I just realized? I didn't have Symmetry turned on. I was like, boy, that looks kind of interesting in the mouth there. Why does it look like that? Oh, that's why it looked like that. That's okay. Not the first time I've done that, will not be the last. Gonna go in there and clean that up. There we go. It's all good. We got it. Let me see. I've had people tell me before that I do accents and I don't mean to. They just kind of happen. It's not intentional. I think it happens for, like, just being raised in the Midwest. Just kind of automate and do accents without even thinking about it. Thank you. Appreciate the follow. I'm gonna come scribbling up here. And there we go. That'll kind of offset the color a little. I think that'll work. And while I'm here, I'll UV fill the mouth. Oh, helps if I unfill the black portions, though. There we go. Very lovely. I actually think I'm gonna push these a little taller, because the Nardo has such a rounded face that they're really not showing up. Oop, dropped it. Get over there. There we go, that looks better. They just weren't totally visible from the front the way they should have been. And I'll do the same to these guys and round off the bottoms of them. Very nice. Good sharp geometric edges. Save. Well, that'll be fun. I've heard Antler Northwest is really nice. Okay, so then it looks like the entire arm and from the knee down. Around and around we go. Do. Fill in all those little bitties. And then from the kneecaps down. Easy, Substance. Relax. Quit jumping all over the place. Never made a moth fursuit, but that would be fun to make at some point. I've said before in other streams and in comments and stuff that I want to make an insect fursuit at some point. Because I just think it would be really fun. Either a moth or, well, specifically a Luna moth I would love to make, because the male Luna moth has some of the prettiest wings I've ever seen, and I love their long, dangly tails. It's just so pretty. So I'd want to do a Luna moth, or an orchid mantis, I feel would also be a really fun one to do. Are the toes white? No, they're not. Okay. So many ideas for things that I wish I could do at some point. Aha! Should have known. There's always a little bit in the toes that just doesn't get filled in. Okay, let me double check the markings. Alright, I'm gonna do the toe bits next. But I want to make sure this lines up with the toe bean. Right there, so it looks like one continuous piece. Upsy daisy we go. As you hear the squeaking of my buffed to smoothness tablet. Of which species? A sea slug would be cool. One of those... Oops, excuse me. Specifically one of the nudibranches that look like the... I think they're called sea dragons is what they're called. They're the little blue ones that are like, if they sting you, you will die because of how toxic their poison is. Fix my desk, it's creaking. Oh, the one we made up? Zarians. Here, I'll put it in chat so you can see it. Like that. Alright, let's see. Am I missing anything? Yes, I am. The cheek spiral. Yeah, it looks like the cheek spiral and the hip spiral, which is on the right hip. Alright, let me see how I can do this. That's the eraser. It's off to a great start. Oh, that was no control in my arm right there. Alright, let me try again. Ugh! No! Arm, please! I just need you to do my thing. Let me see if I can use the stabilizer. Oh, the stabilizer. The stabilizer not liking that at all. It's like, no, this is too small. You're not allowed to do it. Close. Try to zoom out a little bit. Oh my god, stabilizer, please. I'll beg ye. Why are you being so stinky? Okay. That's pretty close, although it definitely kerbuggered when it got to the edge. Oh my god, please. I beg you. Once I can get the flow started, it's not so hard. It's just... Ugh. I don't like how thick the tail is. Welcome to Struggling Simulator. Neither. I'm doing this on my PC with my Intuos Pro Wacom tablet. Oh my god. It's either I go too little or too much. There's no in between. Oh, okay, that's as close as I think I might be able to get it. No. I refuse. I can do better. I know I can do better. Please, I beg you, just draw for me. Actually, you know what? I just realized a thing. I'm gonna turn on Symmetry real quick because the other character has this on the opposite, and I don't want to go through this struggle twice, so I'm gonna duplicate it and then just like turn one off. Okay. I just had to not breathe for a minute, but I think I got it. Okay, so then I'm just going to duplicate that layer and turn it off. Actually, yeah, I'll wait to duplicate until after I finish the other details. I don't have ADHD, I swear. I can totally stay focused and on topic all the time. Definitely me. Yes, sirree. That's way too small. At least on this one, it's a little easier because I can smooth it out. Like, I have undiagnosed ADHD, but... Aw, Snow, you too sweet. You know, I think I'm gonna try the stabilizer for the cheeks as well. We'll see if this'll work. I want to try to get it, like, as smooth as I can. I mean, if it'll actually draw, that'd be great. Come on. Why does it only draw some of the time and not all of the time? Come on. Oh my god, please. I beg you, just draw. It's not that hard. You don't need to be like this. Mixed species as in, like, hybrids? Because, yes. Like, I don't know many artists that wouldn't do a hybrid. I'd be concerned if an artist is, like, speciesist against hybrids. Unless it's illegal hybrid. That's the only, like, asterisk I'll put on that, because I have had people come to me and ask about getting illegal hybrids before, and I respect species rules, so I won't do that. I'm familiar with Z, and I've seen some of their stuff, but I haven't watched a whole lot of it. Trying to see if I missed anything. I think I got all the bits. Okay. Duplicate layer, and then hide it. And then we come in and we erase the sigil from this side. And then we save, because it's always good to save. I'm glad. I like to be able to motivate people. It's nice. Alright, let's do the... I suppose I'll just fill the antlers in while I'm here. Where'd I put them? Oh, they're up there. I was like, where'd they go? So these ones I'll do black, since the primary body color is white, and we'll just leave it like that. The custom hair, I'll wait to do that until I do the fluff, I think. We'll do the white layer right there, like this. And then we make a black layer right here. Roughness 1. And then we check the ref, and it looks like it's black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white. Okay, so it starts with black in the chain. Black, white, let me see. Actually, I think, I wonder, can I UV fill only half? I can't. I'd have to do that a very roundabouts way. Are you talking about a husky fursuit? I will try to see if I can do VR later. I cannot make any guarantees yet. Okay, I think I'm gonna try this. Fill it like that, and then try and find where that was filling. Which fluff are you? I don't see the fluff that's changing. Where is it? It's technically that fluff. Ah, there it is. Are you gonna paint on the sides? You are, you little stinky. I should have known. Well, that idea is not gonna work then. That's fine. I'll just do it like this. We'll just fill them so they kind of have a checkerboard-esque pattern. Oh, and it looks like I'll be hiding the cheek floof. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can do that. Trying to keep this as close to the pattern as I can. But it's always difficult with the limitations that come with VR. Black, white, black. Like that. Okay, that's pretty close. Yeah, so I'll hide the cheek floofs so that they don't obscure the cheek details. Oh, how am I filling them? Under the eraser tool, there's the little box right here that looks like a little square with a circle going around it with a little arrow and stuff. This is your UV filler. And then there's multiple options. You can fill individual tries, which a try is half of a square, which it's not going to do anything to this because there's no technical try here. But if I can find one, there's one. So that is a try. Using the try filler will only fill tries. It will not fill anything else. Using the square chunk filler will fill specifically, if I can get Substance to register the fact that I'm clicking on a thing. Oh, duh, because I'm trying to click on the hair. Usually filling that will fill in anything that is square, but all the hair is tries, so it's weird looking, but I have to undo where this little stink brain bled into it. Which one was it? It was one of my clicks. There it was. So filling with the square will generally fill the little square bitties. Filling with the big one, the solid one, will fill every mesh that is connected. So if I used this on the body, it will fill the entirety of the body. But using the one that looks like the checkerboard is UVs. So wherever a different UV is mapped and a different mesh exists, you can fill each one individually rather than having to paint each one, which saves you so much time. TikTok. That's a good name for an Unis Honest inspired thing. But yeah. At some point I'm going to make a full tutorial for Substance stuff to help other people so they don't have to struggle like I did, because I was doing a mega struggle the first time that I tried how to do this and did not know what on earth I was doing. And then make black. Hey, get out of there. And for this one, because it's asymmetrical, I have to turn off Symmetry, otherwise it's gonna freak out. Very nice. I can turn those off so I can focus on the next bit. Earlier in this stream, by the way, I did talk about how to apply the fur brush texture to everything. So at some point you can go back and watch the VOD and it will show you how I did this so that it's all mapped out like that. So hopefully you'll find that more useful. There is a species sheet. Oh, well, that's a mash of words. Species sheet. And it's currently only available on the Zarian's Discord, which, let me double check real quick if I'm allowed to share the link to that. Am I allowed to share the link to this server for the Zarian's stream? Or would you rather make one specifically for them? Alright, and then we'll wait and see what they say. Because I don't want to accidentally send out the Discord link and then be like, oop. To describe kind of what they look like, they're like robot, dinosaur, skeleton-faced alien creature things. Like, it's kind of difficult to describe. Like, imagine an anthropomorphic T-Rex with a bone face and fiery eyes, but with metal augmented body parts that stand on their hind legs, and they have replaceable mechanical parts, but they're also super customizable, so people can do whatever they want. And like, there's no creative limit. You can do whatever you want. If you want to give them multiple arms or multiple ears or multiple tails or whatevers, and you want to make one that has like fleshy bits, whatever, feel free to do it. Also, I'm about to fight a Dark Souls boss. What is this music? Let me skip that. That was not at all what I wanted to listen to. Definitely not the W word, because that's not a good word to use, and I really don't recommend you using it, so just so you know, like, probably don't use that. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Oh yeah, let me see. I need to fill the horns, so I guess I'll start with the horns. Will these both be black? They will not. So the horns will be black. Horns, gums, tongue, I think. No, the tongue will be the opposite, so just... yeah, just that. Okay. You add mask. And I want to fill the whole thing, so we're going to fill the whole thing. Oh, not the brows. Fill the gum. And then make a new layer, and this is going to be brows, which will be white, roughness 1. And then claws / beans will also be white, but they have a different roughness. Oh, and the teeth. Okay, so claws, beans, teeth, tongue. Let me fill them chompers. Just fill the whole area. And then get rid of gums. Fill them in. Fill them all in. And scroll down to where the toesies are. Very nice. Hang on, let me see. I missed your thing. Let me see, hang on. Oh, so, yeah. Rulers addressed it. It is a cultural thing to Native Americans, and even speaking its name is not good. Also, music, relax, you're a little too loud. But even speaking its name is supposed to be a bad omen, so it's not recommended to do. Yes, your commission is in outgoing because it's all finished and the Unity package is complete. I just have to take the showcase photos and then it gets packed up and sent to you, hence outgoing. Okay, and I think the rest is just the suit. And the eyes. I didn't do the eyes yet. Okay. I will do the peepers next. I didn't spell that right. Bruv, stop it. There we go. White eyes. We're gonna make the roughness 0 because I want them really shiny. Excuse me, I said I want the roughness to be 0. Thank you. And we're gonna put emissives in there so that they're really glowy. Roughness 0. Black. And now we get to do the really fun bitty. Which requires me to turn off the body so I can see those beautifully demented little peepers. As I make Substance poop itself for a second there. Come on, get in there. Substance do be lagging. Excellent. Okay. And now that I've got that, I gotta make sure this is roughly in the center. And then we grab the eraser. I am physically holding my hand on the screen right now, making sure I know exactly where the center is. A little bit bigger. 4.3 is too much. There we go. Right there. Little bigger. Slightly too big. Right there. Right there. Right there. This is the most roundabout way to do this. I'm sure there's a far easier way, but as I always say, why do it the easy way when I can make it overly complicated and more difficult for myself? And how many rings? Okay, the center's white, so I got one more. Beautiful. Now I just have to come clean up the edges. That was from doing the UV fill. Sometimes it just bleeds over, but it's easy to fix. And then we turn the glowiness back on, and look at how cool that looks. Absolutely fabulous. And it does look like this one's mostly white. Yes, cool. Okay. Let me see. Do you recommend cutting for what's on the base or before you sew everything together? I assume by cutting fur you mean shaving it, which I do a mild pre-shave before I put it on the head, and then after it's all glued down, then I do a detail shave. Because that way you can make sure everything gets glued down nice and flat. Otherwise, I've noticed if it's too thick, you'll miss spots, and then you'll end up with these big gaping holes that are just like loose fabric where it didn't get glued down. So that's why I like to pre-shave first. Thank you. Okay, I think that is everything. Let me turn on the misc, the specular. Let's take a gander and just see if there's anything that jumps out and goes, oopsie doopsie, fix that. I can't see anything, so I think I got it all. Looks good. I can't see nothing. It did at one point, and it's not the first time that MLP has done questionably cultural appropriation stuff. Like, that's happened several times. Let's not forget the entire episode with the bison. Okay. I can't see anything that looks like I missed a spot, so with that, I'm going to turn off a lot of these layers so Substance doesn't poop itself. And then we're going to turn on... let's do the undersuit first. Thankfully, this is going to be very straightforward. Most of the undersuit looks like it's black, except for the vest, which is white. So first, I want to go to my materials. And I want to find vintage suit. And let's turn down my tiling real nicely. Make this our top color. And then do a darker color for the bottom so it deepens the hue. Let's turn down the line intensity a little bit so it's not quite as aggressive. That looks pretty good. I think I'm going to swap these colors though. I think I'm going to put the darker one on top. There we go. That looks better. And this will be the undershirt. Like that. If you are interested in VR stuff commissions, like, feel free to go and check out my website, which is linked in the description. There'll be more price information as well as model availability for what I'm able to do. Also, your art is not garbage. Nobody's art is garbage. Everybody just starts at a different position. You gotta take some pride in the things you're able to create, because everybody starts somewhere. Trust me, I started Garbo when I was trying to figure out how to do things. Everybody starts somewhere and you just have to work at it. There we go. We'll do that. That'll make the vest look more like a satin. And then, what color is the bow tie is white, but I'll make the tie black. So I want the same settings here, so I'm just gonna duplicate, make this the tie, remove the mask. Add mask. Make the tie black. I can't tell if that's part of the bow or the tie. That was part of the tie. Okay. I should have separated the bow and the tie mesh, but I didn't think about it. And then we'll duplicate this one more time. And this will be the bow. And let me get right on in there, so I can make sure I got it all. I think I did, but... Oh, you know what? Actually, I think that's part of the bow. I think that's the bow, not the tie. Okay, got it. Got it. No problem. My best uwu? I cannot do uwus. I've tried. It's not within my capabilities. Let me see. I probably won't be streaming tonight, but I will be streaming for at least a couple more hours because I still have to do some Unity stuff on this. So we'll see how that goes. Let me see. It's not so much that. Like, learning is the big thing. I, above everyone else, have had to learn very hard that sometimes you make mistakes. How you move on, learn, and grow from those mistakes is what's important. And that, for me, is the big thing that I want to try and stress to other people. You have to learn. Okay, this overcoat is white, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, let me turn this back on. Turn the roughness up, turn the metallic up. Make it nice and satiny. And then fill the coat. And then duplicate, because I want the same settings for the pants. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate the donation. And I'm glad you find my tutorials useful. Go for it. That'd be fun. feel free to make all the characters you like. I always love seeing the creativity that people can come up with. Makes me happy. I think I'm going to turn the metallic up just a little bit more on the pants. Put more of that satiny shimmer on there. Wonder if I have any fabrics that would be better suited for this. Probably not. I think all I have is like leather, and leather would not suit this. Yeah, that's fine. Black mask, fill the pants. I can, however, grab one of my leathers, this one, and drop it here. And then I gotta turn the tiling way down because it's way too big. And you don't have a belt color defined, so I'll use black so that it doesn't offset too much. Oh, and I forgot part of the pants. Forgot the belt loops. Polycro does such gorgeous stuff. Like, there's so many little details on this suit that people will probably never see, but I know that they're there, and that's cool. Okay, let's see how, just for curiosity's sake, how the belt would look if it was white. It doesn't look half bad, but I think it looks better being black. Plus, that way it's going to allow the buckle to stand out a little bit more. Turn the roughness to 0 and the metallic to 1, and then I can adjust it down. Oop. Fill just the buckle. I'll kick your butt. I mean it. I'll kick your butt. Ha! Excellent. Save. And then let's turn on some stuff. And see what we look like. So there's the... Oh yeah, that's right, the jacket. Oh yeah, the fluff on the back. That's gonna make that kind of difficult. Also, is it just me, or did those sleeves feel funny? Oh. Just my imagination, I guess. Because that is this one, right? Yeah, that's that one. Weird. Look different. Aw, thank you. I look forward to seeing that. Okay, I'm trying to think how is going to be the best way to approach the jacket. Because I think when you hide the neck and the back fluff, I think it hides it up to here. I'm pretty positive it hides it up to the shoulder line. Like, these two are still there, but I think it hides this bottom layer. So I should be able to just come over here, look for textures. I can't see it because it's white. Let me just turn that black real quick here so I can take a gander at it. Come on. I'm gonna spread it all the way across the shoulders like that. And then we're just gonna anchor the vertices so that I can make sure it wraps around correctly when I go to trace and transfer the decal. Call this numbers. It's going to be white, and just so I can see it, I'm gonna make the emissive red. What was the setting on this? 0.6.6, that's what we'll change it to. 0.6.6, and black mask. Okay. Comic Sans the font. That would be something. I like jokey, like, kind of memey characters. I think it's fun. It's good to have a good laugh and have humor. Yes, indeed it does. This is real? Is that, like, what? I mean, yes and no. Like, technically it's a VTuber, so it's not like my real face, but you know what I mean. This is still live. It's not a VOD yet. It will be. So when it is a VOD, hello people of the future. I hope your day's going well. Let's see. Let's see. I love D&D. I wish there was a local group that I could run with again, because it's been so long since I've actually played it. I also just realized that it was painting. We don't want symmetry this time. We want this asymmetrical so we can have numbers on one side and not the same numbers on the other side, as numbers tend to do. It's not even about, like, playing with furries, because I'm fine with playing D&D with, like, normies. It's just as much fun. I used to play with a local group, and we used to meet every Thursday? Yeah, I think it was every third Thursday of the month. And I loved it. It was great. It was lots of fun. But it came to a point where the... Without going too into detail, because it did not end on a good note, the DM allowed a very questionable action to play out with my character, and I was not comfortable with it at all. So I quit the campaign and haven't talked to them since. But because they frequent the local game shop, I can't even really go there to kind of look for new people to play with because they're always there. And I don't want to deal with encountering them again after that. It happens from time to time, you know. There'll be DMs that like to try and hammer home the fact that what happens in game doesn't reflect what I in real life would ever do, but it's like it's the point. That's the big red flag. Like, why would you even pretend that this would be okay? And it was not okay. And I was not okay with it. And I made it very clear I wasn't. And he still did it anyway, so. Long story short, I don't play with that group no more. But I miss D&D. And it's just not the same playing it online. It was something very inappropriate. And I can't necessarily talk about it on stream because, one, this video will get demonetized immediately if I do, which I kind of need that income this month, so I can't really afford to do that. But it's also a very triggering topic to talk about for people, so out of respect for others, I won't go into detail and talk about it, but it was an action that is not okay, and I was not okay with it, and DM did not take no as no. And even though I'm playing a fictional character, it still doesn't matter. No means no. Okay, now that I've got my numbers, I can change the emission mask back to what it should be. Very lovely. Okay, so I think with that, that's all of the details for the character. I do want to check real quick the ray tracing, so my computer is going to go burr. Come on, you can do it. And then turn the exposure way down because I want to check the emission level. Looks good. I like it. I'm trying to think if I want anything else to glow. But I think having just the eyes glow kind of adds to, like, the mystique. So I think I'll just leave it at the eyes. Oh yeah, the eyes and the numbers on the back of the jacket. Yeah, I think we'll leave that being the only emissions. Okay, dealy dokey. I do see bits. Okay, that's part of the belt buckle. I was just trying to make sure because they were a different color in the UV map. Alright, with that, that's all my parts. So I'm going to export this first one, since there are technically two in one that I have to do here. But the second one is very straightforward because it's like the same concept except the colors are reversed. So this one was Memento. There was no emissions on that one. This one I'm not going to export because I didn't use that layer. Body. Was there any metallic on the body? No, there was not. Normal height. There's no emissives on the body either. Only the eyes and the jacket. The eyes have an emissive, so I'll check that. Fluff. The misc layer Specular I don't need because I'm going to do it in Unity. Suit 1. I don't remember. Is suit 1 the one that has the normal map? No, it's not. It's suit 2. Okay. So that one doesn't need the normal. That one does have the emissive, though. That one has the normal. That one has the metallic. No emissive. And roughness. Okay, so that should be everything. Export the first set. Not quite, but I'll show you. Okay, let me turn off the suit first so that I can focus on one layer at a time. Alright, so first I'm going to invert the horn layer. So those become white instead of black. And then give me the bottom.